for this y. So it's going to look like this. 5x equals 2x plus 3. And now all I'm doing, ooh, that's a terrible looking 3. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to solve for x. So here we have 5x's on this side and 2x's on this side. So to make life easy, I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides. 5x minus 2x is 3x. Okay. 2x minus 2x is 0, so I'm left with just 3 on this side. Oh, so all I need to do is divide both sides by 3, and x equals 1. Okay, so now what I need to do, now I know what x is, I plug x into either equation. I'm going to plug it into this one just because my life is going to be a little bit easier. Let me change colors here. So y equals, so if x is 1, I plug in 1 for my x. So y equals 5. Okay, so my solution is x equals 1, y equals 5. Now if I had to plug that into this one, let's see if it's true. Does 5 equal 2 times 1 plus 3, right? 5 is y, we said. X is 1, so 2 times 1 plus 3. So does 5 equal 2 plus 3? Obviously, you learned that in probably first grade. That 2 plus 3 does equal 5. Okay, let's try one more, and then you're going to do it on your own. So these first two that we said, we already knew what y was. Well, this one, we're going to know what x is. So 5x equals 5y plus 3. And then the second equation is 2x plus 4y equals -1. Okay, so again, we're going to substitute it in what we know. So we know what x is. We know that x is 5y plus 3. So anywhere we see an x, what we're going to do is we're going to put in a 5y plus 3. So here's x. Here we're going to put in 5y plus 3. So this is going to be 2 times, I'm just going to change the color so you can see the difference of the substitution. So 5y plus 3. Then we continue on with what I have. Plus 4y. And that's going to equal -1. And now we're going to do basically what we just did before. We're going to solve the equation for y. So I can't just find what y is at the moment. I need to distribute through my 2. Okay. So 2 times 5y is 10y. 2 times 3 is 6. So this is 10y plus 6. Now my 4y I didn't touch. It's still just hanging out. And my -1 on the right side is still hanging out. So now I combine my like terms. 10y plus 4y is 14y. Plus 6 is -1. Okay, so I'm trying to find what y is. What am I doing to y? I'm multiplying it by 14 and then adding 6. So I need to take away my additions first. Now listen, I'm just going to write it up here for right now, just so it's not all squished. So 14y plus 6 minus 6 is just 14y. Okay. -1 minus 6 is -7. All right, so now 14y equals -7. So to find what y is, I need to divide by 14. So this leaves me with y here. And -7 divided by 14 is -1/2. Okay, so I know that y is -1/2. Now I need to plug this in or substitute in the 1/2 either into this equation into the y or into this equation into the y. Okay. I think what I'll do is I'll plug it into the top equation. No, I'm going to plug it into the bottom equation. Here's why. If you notice, it really doesn't matter which one I put it into. You see how this comes out to be negative 1/2? Well, here I'm multiplying by an odd number, so I'm going to wind up with a fraction. Here I'm multiplying it by an even number, which means that it's going to be a nice whole number to deal with. So let's just deal with the whole number. It's just going to make life a little bit easier. Okay. Let me change colors. So 2x, right, plus 4 now times y. We said y is negative 1/2, so here we're going to plug in negative 1/2. And that is going to equal negative 1. Okay? So 2x stays the same. Oops, let me erase that. I know it's going to be plus, but it's going to be plus a negative. So plus a negative, we know that it's just going to be a minus. Sorry, let me make that a little smaller. So 4 times negative 1/2 is negative 2. Okay. So 2x minus 2 equals negative 1. Well, now I'm going to solve for x. What am I doing to x? I'm multiplying it by 2 and then subtracting 2 from that. So remember, we take it apart backwards. So I need to add my 2 to both sides. So 2x equals 1. Oh. So now let me divide by 2. X equals 1/2. Okay. So if we were to plug 1/2 in for x and negative 1/2 into y, it will work each time. So if we think about it, 2 times 1/2 is 1, right? Plus 4 times negative 1/2 is negative 2. So 1 plus negative 2 is negative 1. Or if I come up here, if I plug in 1/2 here, okay, 1/2 is equal to 5 times negative 1/2, which would be negative 5/2, plus 3. Well, 3 is 6/2. So negative 5/2 plus 6/2 equals 1/2, which is what that is. Okay. So today you're going to work on a couple of equations very, very similar to this. Okay. The first couple that you're going to have, the first one or two, is going to say solve by graphing. What I want you to do is I want you to solve them by substitution. Okay. Then there'll probably be another 2 more where you're going to have to solve them by substitution. Do the work on a piece of paper, otherwise it's going to be very difficult. Now, if you get stuck, please, please, please come back, watch this video to explain everything to you. During your time from 9:30 to 10:30, I am online. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. Okay, I will have GoGuardian on. I will be able to live chat with you. If you need to have a conversation with me, that is fine. I will have a Google Meet with you. If a bunch of you need to be there, we can get a bunch of you on. That is totally fine. So please reach out if you have any questions. If not, good luck. Have fun.